Let's do this. Anyway, hi, it's Scola and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a review of my 10-year health and fitness journey. Oh my goodness, it's been a long time. Let's get right into it. I basically had a realization the other day whilst I was filming that I have officially been into health and fitness for 10 years now. I started my journey when I was 14 years old and this month your girl turned 24. I don't know why I feel old, but I'm excited about this video because I want to talk about my 10-year journey, because one thing I want to highlight is the fact that health and fitness is ongoing and it's a whole journey. So even though like when I first started I might have been like,
yeah, I'm just gonna do this for a year, get snatched, and then all the boys will be coming to my yard for my milkshake.
Isn't that song actually really bad? I actually don't know what the song actually means, but here we are 10 years later and she's still out here doing it. So we're gonna be talking about that. I'm excited to also review some of the different trends that happened in the last 10 years. We saw the whole Tumblr trend and that whole sort of health and fitness community, and then we moved on to like the whole lifting thing when health and fitness like just blew up and everyone was into it. You might as well just click the subscribe button and the bell button just so you can join me on the next 10 years of my life, because let's just face it, I'm not going anywhere, am I? I'm just gonna be here in it. So but anyway, let's get into the whole story. So it all started when I was 14 years old. I was very insecure, so like many teenage girls, the thing that got me into health and fitness was much insecurity. Was that a proper sentence? I don't know, but I was very insecure. I was getting bullied. I felt very uncomfortable within myself. So the reasons why I started getting into health and fitness weren't the most positive reasons, but one thing I will always say about health and fitness is that sometimes the reason you start doesn't matter too much, but once you get into it, as long as you start to adopt a really healthy and positive outlook, that's amazing. Because I feel like once you get into health and fitness, you're like, oh man, it's really not about the way that I look, it's not about my insecurities, this is just like a good thing to do for my body and my soul and my mind. So I did get into it for the wrong reasons, I'm not gonna lie. I was getting bullied and I wanted to just lose the weight just so I wasn't big anymore and I wasn't obese anymore basically. But luckily I did have other goals that kept me going, and I think I'm just so thankful that I had these goals, such as one of my main goals that I wrote down was to be happy. Like, that's how simple it was. I was just like, I just want to be happy, because it means that it's a goal that's always evolving and changing, and it's a goal I can always go back to and review and be like, am I happy? And if not, I need to change something. And the first thing that I got into was just eating less and moving more. It was that simple. I didn't know anything about health and fitness, and I didn't really do any research into it. So I was just like, right, okay, all I know is I eat too much and I don't move enough. I come home from school, I sit in front of my computer, I sit in front of the TV watching Hannah Montana. Oh my god, those were the days. So that's what I started doing, and already I started seeing really good results. I was so consistent, it was mad. Like, this was during summer holidays. So the official time I started my health and fitness journey was during summer holidays in July. So I am excited to do a whole progress review next July, because that will technically be 10 years since my start date. And then this is when Tumblr came in. I was doing fine and I wasn't doing anything majorly unhealthy or anything. I was actually doing things that were really good for me. But I got into Tumblr because I was already on Tumblr and I wanted to research different ways to get healthy and find a community, because there's already a community of people on Tumblr. So I was like, surely there's like a community of people trying to lose weight as well. So I got into that, and it was really interesting because there was a side where people were trying to be healthy and give genuine advice, but there was also the side that was teetering slightly onto unhealthy habits slash just flat out eating disorders. And I feel like those communities are still there till this day, but I sort of got sucked into that, and some of the tips that I took on to help me lose weight were really unhealthy. Luckily I didn't do this for a very long time at all, but I feel like what's really sad about a lot of people's health and fitness journeys is that most of us probably do have a point where we're doing unhealthy things in order to reach our goals, and we thought that was the best way to get there, whatever your goal is, but it wasn't. So I did fall into, by the way, trigger warning, I did fall into habits of like majorly under eating. I was also binging because that's kind of the reason why I was overweight in the first place. I was overeating and binging. I had a real binge eating problem at the time, and so then it led to purging as well, and it was just like a really bad cycle. But this didn't happen for very long, and it didn't actually impact my journey too much because my weight was just going woo 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 constantly. So it's like just this weird time in my life that just taught me a lot, but luckily didn't affect me too much in the long run. So let's fast forward to I've lost 50 pounds because that's the original amount of weight that I lost. I lost 50 pounds. I was so proud of myself. I was 15 by now, going on to 16, and I felt amazing. But I just didn't know when to stop. And that's one major tip that I would give to anybody is understand that your journey is going to be long and it's not just going to finish one day, but have plans in place. So once you know, if you have a goal to lose weight, or you have a goal to do something or anything, whatever it might be, to run a marathon, once you do that, you need to have a follow-up or a backup goal so that once you've achieved it, you're not just left like in limbo, like what do I do now? Because I had a problem where I just kept going. I just kept losing weight because I was like, I'm getting so good at this, I might as well just keep going. And it was luckily like one day I woke up and I was just like, no. And that's when I first like announced the end of my journey and my weight loss, and I made a whole video about it. I was so excited. I was like, I finally feel good about myself. I woke up feeling fantabulous and it was amazing. And then I just had what I would call such a blissful few years of just enjoying health and fitness and enjoying challenging myself and pushing myself without having to focus too much on losing weight and just focusing on being the best I possibly can be. And around this time is when the lifting craze started and the bodybuilding stuff started and bikini competitions became a thing. And it was really weird because it was such a huge trend and such a big part of like health and fitness, especially online. I was like, surely I have to jump in on this trend too and see where I fit into this. So I did get a little bit caught up with the idea of having abs and getting really strong. Little did I know, like now when I look back on the pictures, I am like, oh my goodness, I was so toned, I was so lean. But in my mind, I was like, right, I need to do this. So it's just like one of those things where I'm looking back on it and I'm like, you were fine the way you were, but I think it's one of those things also where naturally as humans we're always trying to strive towards being something more than we are in the present, which is great because it keeps us challenging ourselves, pushing ourselves so we get better. But I think it's always important to draw that line, like, okay, don't go crazy, like just enjoy a little bit of where you are now. This was between 18 and 20. I started to notice, one, my mood has started changing a lot. I was feeling a lot lower a lot more often, and I was starting to gain weight despite the fact that I was still just as active as I always was. So also I was just putting it down to the fact that I was becoming a woman, and that was another huge change in the last 10 years, trying to understand my body as I was getting older. And that's such a huge thing that I think we don't talk enough about. Like, your body changes so much as you age and you have to let it. So as much as you can control a little bit of what your body does, a lot of it you can't control it, and you just have to let it do its own thing. So please do not freak out, especially as you're going from being basically a child to becoming a full-grown woman. Accept what your body's gonna do. Now we're entering into what was the toughest time of my health and fitness journey. The first few years, oh my goodness, they were a walk in the park compared to what my 20s would bring me. So when I hit my 20s, I noticed I was so tired all the time. I was gaining weight consistently, even though I had not changed any of my habits or anything like that. In fact, health and fitness had become a bigger part of my life because I was a qualified personal trainer. I was being so active all the time. It was my full-time job, and it was everything. I was like eating, breathing, living health and fitness. Yeah, my body wasn't reflecting that, and it was so weird because I just felt like a completely different person. And then that's when I got diagnosed with the condition hypothyroidism, which is something that I will have for the rest of my life as far as I know, though there's a lot of different studies and stuff. I won't get into it, but I now have to take medication for the rest of my life for this condition, and it has completely changed me as a person. And this was the toughest time because it's like this condition was built to be the enemy of everything I'd built over the years. Like, it completely changed me as a person, my mood, my outlook. What I was so lucky to happen at the same time I was struggling with that was the body positivity movement came in, at least during the time I was struggling with that, and it's still here now, and it's helped me accept my body so much more. And with the rise of Instagram and all these different online platforms allowing different women to show their bodies has been so positive for me, because I didn't feel like I had to hide away, because I think as a PT, as I was gaining weight, my channel was about weight loss, I was so ashamed, and I was like, I can't do my job anymore, basically, because I just don't feel like I can help anybody out if I can't help myself. But that made me feel so much more comfortable in myself, because I was just like, your body's still amazing and it's been through so much, and you're still here today fighting and working hard. But now let's get to the present day Scola right now. I'm at a place where I feel like I'm actually happy with my body. Like, if someone was like, Scola, you're gonna look this way for the rest of your life, I would be like, cool, that's fine. In terms of like health, actual health, and my habits, they're not the best, but they're definitely better than they've ever been. I think sometimes I'm very hard on myself and I don't realize how naturally active I am, but in my mind, because I'm not doing it in the most like focused way, I feel like I'm like just failing at everything. And my diet is really good as well for the most part. I mean, it's up and down, but again, that's to do with my condition. It's really hard to manage that kind of thing. But I'm at a place where for once, I'm not gaining weight continuously because of my condition. I've managed to maintain weight and lose weight and manage that and just look after my health in so many different ways. Mental health has also been such a huge thing that's come in as well. When I first started losing weight and getting to health and fitness, it wasn't really a big deal, but now it is. It's just so good, because it means that I'm not pushing myself to do things that isn't good for me as a whole. Like, yeah, physically it might be great, but is this good for my mind as well? And that's another thing that comes into play. I don't know where I'll be in the next 10 years, but I'm so proud of the person that I am now. Like, I always think about what would my 14-year-old self think about my 24-year-old self. I think she'd think I'm pretty cool. Like, I think she'd be like, oh my god, she's so cool, I want to be just like her when I grow up. So yeah. But also, guys, please share your own journeys. How long have you been into health and fitness? Have you gotten into it yet? Are you still trying to get into it and make it a part of your life? When were you first conscious of your body and wanting to change it, or wanting to just become healthier and fitter? Do comment down below. I'd love to hear all of your experiences. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay healthy, stay luscious, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.